are attacking
No,
our news
not you.
organization.
Not
Can
you.
you give us a chance?
Your organization
You are
is
attacking
terrible.
our news organization.
Your organization
Can you give us a
is
chance
terrible.
to
Let's
ask a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir, can
Quiet.
you state,
Quiet.
Mr. President-elect,
Go ahead.
can you state
She's asking
categorically,
a question.
Mr.
Don't be rude.
President-elect, can you give us a question?
be
You're
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
Can you
No,
give
I'm
us
not
a
going to give you a
question?
question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state?
President-elect Donald Trump attacking CNN in his first news conference since July, defending himself from suspicions about his relationship with Russia. Welcome back to Dr. Jeff Engel, Director of the Center for Presidential History at SMU. Donald Trump not only attacking a couple of news organizations that reported a story, but at the people he suspects leaked it. Let's take a look.
I think it was disgraceful that the intelligence agencies allowed any information that turned out to be so false and fake out. I think it's a disgrace. And I say that, and that's something that Nazi Germany would have done and did do. I think it's a disgrace.
This is the same intelligence community and the leaders of those agencies, and some of them career public servants, not just political appointees, that he's going to have to depend on in the future. And he's saying, you guys leaked this stuff. Now, James Clapper, the current director of national intelligence, says, no, nobody in any of these agencies leaked this information.
Yeah, in fact, Clapper, who of course has worked for over 40 years in intelligence and has worked for Republicans and Democrats alike, been trusted by Republicans and Democrats alike, actually called up Donald Trump last night to express his profound concern that the incoming president-elect has just referred to the intelligence community essentially as Nazis, as people who can't be trusted, as incompetent, but as Nazis. And consequently, let's take a big step back here. I'm not going to suggest that this is Donald Trump's plan, but if one wanted to weaken the security of the United States, this would be a good way to do it.
Because all of these, and thousands of employees, some of whom are working overseas in undercover roles in dangerous places and putting their lives at risk every day, are now, as of a week from tomorrow, being asked to be loyal to Donald Trump.
Yes, and also being asked to be loyal to somebody who is essentially undermining them and undermining their work. This is not an easy job. Yeah. This is no different than being in the military. This is a person who, the average analyst is a person who could be making more money doing something else, could have a much less stressful job doing something else, and by the way, never gets to talk about their successes even with their own family. Yeah. This is not an easy job, and so to have the president undermine your work from the beginning is very disconcerting.
Let's talk about the report that a lot of people have seen now, because one news organization, BuzzFeed, posted a link to the raw report, which is unverified raw information. Most news organizations, including to their defense, CNN, did not put the details on. It's pretty embarrassing stuff. If it's true, we don't know. If
it's true, and we don't know. But what we do know is that the intelligence communities briefed President Obama and President-elect Trump on this information, which tells us at the very least that they are concerned that this information is something that the policymakers need to know. And that's not the same as saying that they believe it's true. It's simply saying that that's something that a policymaker would want to know. And the truth of the matter is, this is the kind of material, if it were true, that would keep somebody from getting a security clearance, because they would be a security threat.
And it is currently still being investigated to see whether or not there's anything to it. Maybe, maybe not, we don't know. Obamacare, during the campaign and yesterday, President-elect promising to repeal and replace and to do it quickly.
Obamacare is a complete and total disaster. We're going to be submitting, as soon as our secretary is approved, almost simultaneously, shortly thereafter, a plan. It'll be repeal and replace. It will be essentially simultaneously. It will be...
Repeal's pretty easy. Replace, Republicans who control both houses of Congress are going, we don't have a replacement.
Yeah, you have to have a plan before you can put it forward. And healthcare is something that takes, a kind of plan that takes 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years to work out. You're not going to get it in 2 weeks. But the interesting thing is that most voters tell us that they actually like all the different component parts of the president's Obamacare, just not the name.
Right.
And so it's very likely, I think, that we're going to see a plan that comes out to actually be shockingly similar to what President Obama has given us,
Right.
and just call it something else. Trump
Probably
care.
the two biggest objections that Republicans would point to are the individual mandate. You have to have insurance
Right.
or you'll pay a tax penalty, and taxpayer subsidies as well.
But President-elect Trump said something really fascinating yesterday, that he wants to start renegotiating the price of prescription drugs, which is something that the Republicans in Congress have voted against repeatedly and lobbied against repeatedly. He's essentially aligning himself in this case with the Democrats. So we have a very unusual case here where we have a remarkably unpopular president-elect.
Yep.
His poll numbers are in the high 30s. The last three president-elects coming in, their poll numbers were about 60 when they came in, who is fighting against his own party to do something that his own party has fought against for many years.
It was a fascinating, if you did not see the news conference in its entirety, it was fascinating, compelling.
Circus is the word I would use.
It definitely
actually.
was that.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.